Hello, everyone, and welcome once again to Tarheel by Dark. This scene is set immediately after the intro video that Dr. Cal Eckman has done. And let the scene commence.
Okay, so Annika knocks on the door of Dr. Cal Eckman's, wherever he is right now.
Yeah, laboratory at Duke University. Enter, says Dr. Eckman.
All right. So Annika enters. Well, good evening, Dr. Eckman. It's been a while.
Good evening, Annika. Long time no see.
So I heard that you've been up to some trouble.
Yeah. I think I finally got it working this time.
So exactly what is it?
Well, do you remember a couple of years ago I told you about my idea for a working gateway system that would cut out fossil fuels completely?
Yes, I remember.
Well, I think I finally got it working.
Really? Annika folds up her collapsible cane, takes a seat, and puts the cane in her lap.
It's only a prototype, and I only got it working once, but we'll see if I can get it working again.
Okay.
And at this, Dr. Eckman, as I pull up Dice Stream, Dr. Eckman starts working the controls to get the two nodes at the end of the lecture table turned on and stabilize the spherical Casimir generators. And the roll again is Manipulation Science, difficulty 8. And let's see if it works. 3, 2, 1. And there's a it was a failure. I still can't get it fully stabilized. I'm going to try one more time. Give me a second. And this is going to be difficulty 8 again, I think, or is it difficulty 9? Actually, I better check with Will. Oh, he's offline, so we'll just go with that.
We'll go with 8 again.
Yeah, we'll just go with 8 again. So here we go. 3, 2, 1. Because it wasn't a botch, so I can do it again. 1, 2, 3. And there is a because there was a 10 there, you see the 10 gets neutralized. You see a fizzle of what looks like a wormhole, and then all of a sudden it goes out. Darned it! I could have sworn I was getting this thing stabilized.
Maybe you're just getting nervous because somebody's watching you this time.
Perhaps you're right. I mean, I got it on video. It worked just fine off of the video clip. Maybe if I do it for the camera again, let's see if I can get it then. And I'm going to try one more time, and this is probably going to be retcon, but what the hell? We'll just go with it because it's fluff. And 3, 2, 1. Yes, finally. At this we see one. At this we see 1, 2. Because the specialty is physics, so that's 2. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5 successes. At this you see the following. I'm going to do this as an illustration for the hand, but you'll get the idea anyway. So at this, Dr. Eckman takes the button, puts it in the chamber in one side, and all of a sudden it disappears from the one side and reappears back in the other. And thus teleports over about a meter. It barely phases as he pushes it through. You see a button pop out from one, disappear from one side, and pop out at the other side of the lecture table.
Well, that was impressive.
I know it's only a concept piece. It's only a proof of concept, but I think that with enough investment and a little work, we can make this big enough to be able to transport virtually anything, anywhere in the universe.
That would have huge implications for environmental impacts as well. We could completely phase out such fossil fuel hogs as airplanes and trains.
Yeah, this is the reason why I've been trying to get a hold of another guy. There's another one of our ilk by the name of Harry Wallace, who initially showed some interest in my tech. He's a transport guy. I'm thinking if I could get a hold of him, I might be able to convince him to change over to this tech with enough investment. We might be able to give him a new monopoly on transport capability everywhere in the Carolina district using this technology and cutting his costs significantly.
You notice that Annika takes a moment to process what Dr. Eckman has said. Having known him in the past, she doesn't have quite as much trouble with the stutter as she could be having, but it's still a little bit difficult.
So, what do you think? Do you want to invest in this? I mean, the more money I get the more money I get in here, the more I can buy up the necessary tools to be able to figure out how to build this thing larger.
At this point, I would be more willing to invest time rather than money. But if you need any help with the project, I am more than willing to do that for you.
Well,
I know that I don't have quite as much education as you do, but I am willing to give you whatever help you do need. And
sorry, you were
give me a week. Sorry, just give me a week to determine if I am able to invest monetarily as well.
Yeah. Well, I was going to ask, do you, I've forgotten, what was your background in science? And out of character, this would be information off your character sheet.
Just give me a minute to find my character sheet again. Slow computer.
Out of character, the fact that I rolled a difficulty, assuming we still go by the traditional rules of failure, which is difficulty 8, then difficulty 9, then difficulty 10, because I rolled the 10 on that third roll, it still counts. So either way we look at this, the teleport happened on the third try.
I don't have any dots in science, but I do have 2 dots in computer. So with you teaching me how to run things, I could work on computer programming and computer simulations, perhaps.
That might not be a bad idea, says Dr. Eckman. I would appreciate the extra time and help. Could you go over to the computers over there and run a couple of parameters for me? I'm hoping that by running some simulations, we can get this thing narrowed down a little better.
Annika snaps the collapsible cane back into place and pulls herself out of the chair to go over to the computers.
At this, Dr. Bell is going to attempt something slightly different.
Did you say Dr. Bell?
I'm sorry. I get mixed up between Dr. Eckman. I'm sorry. Real. So yeah, Dr. Eckman goes over to the controls again and says, "See what happens when I start applying my movement of mind capability." what happens when I start, if you could punch in the idea of a singular focus blast of 500 kilograms equivalent of telekinetic energy.
Okay, Annika starts typing.
At this, you'll need to roll intelligence computers.
Okay. Assuming it's difficulty 6, we got a single failure there.
Okay, so yeah, with no indicators on the difficulty, we'll go with that. So yeah, Dr. Eckman says, I guess we'll have to give it a try again. There's not enough experimental data. At this, Dr. Eckman is going to attempt again to give it a try, this time changing from a button to a handkerchief, which is a slightly larger size, and see if this works. We'll set this at difficulty 9 because the other one was set at difficulty 8. And here we go. 3, 2, 1. Oh, that's brilliance. With difficulty 9, we got, because I'm using my specialty physics on this for the manipulation, we get 2 4 successes. So Dr. Eckman proceeds to take the handkerchief and shoves it through the wormhole. And as it happens, it literally disappears from one end and reappears out the other. Dr. Eckman says, well, that will work surprisingly well. We may actually have some results here to be able to show. I have been recording this, so I hope you don't mind. But Duke Tyson said more information and documentation was needed. So I was going to record these results, keep recording these results to submit to the relevant authorities.
Of course. You're welcome to record. You're welcome to record anytime that I help you in the laboratory.
Brilliant. This is going better than I thought. With any luck, maybe we'll be able to finally get a working technology that might actually help both kindred and kind alike. Anyway, enough about me. What have you been up to in the past while?
Well, I've just come back to North Carolina a little bit under a year ago. I've been traveling recently. I've discovered a money-making opportunity to help support myself, and that's going well. So,
what's the money-making opportunity?
Have you heard of webcam modeling?
Yeah, I think so.
That's what I've been doing to bring in a little bit of extra cash for necessities. After all, the truck doesn't buy its own gas.
Yeah, fair point.
Besides, I'm trying to save up to have it retrofitted with one of the new electronic engines.
Well, if my idea works and I can get nodes across the country, we might even put Tesla out of business.
That is true.
Mind you, the real problem with trying to get this technology off the ground is going to be the gravitational distortion problem. Trying to use space warp, trying to use warp technology planet side is going to be a particular issue if I can't figure out how to channel the gravity at higher levels. I'm thinking the higher dimensions predicted by string theory will address this problem if I can shunt the gravity off the wormhole. But again, that's going to require a lot more working and stabilization and safety issues.
So you think that attempting to transport something person-sized might have repercussions with as far as the orbit of the Earth itself?
That's part of my concern, yes.
You notice that Annika looks like she sort of understands, but only has a very basic understanding of the science behind it.
Yeah. The main concern that I have right now, though, is with Duke Tyson asking for additional information. I am wondering what he's planning for me, if anything.
You never know sometimes with our higher-ups.
Yeah. But what do you think? Do you think I should go? Do you think I should go public with this information? I mean, do you think I should go to the kind world with what I have so far? Go to the scientific journals, or should I try to keep a lid on this for a little while longer?
I think you should keep a lid on it for just a little while longer. I don't know what the potential repercussions may be if another researcher tries to do the same experiments without the proper safety protocols.
Yeah,
I
fair.
trust you to be careful with your work. I do not trust some of the kind scientists. They haven't been around long enough, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, it was as my benefactor Thaddeus once said, apply yourself at everything and don't overlook the small stuff.
I remember when the Manhattan Project was happening, I said then that it was foolish to conduct those experiments where they could harm other people and the environment around us.
Yeah,
But,
yeah, that's a part of my history I don't really like talking about.
right, that was when we first met, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah, I know I was doing that. I know I was working as a lab tech. I know that I was working as an assistant on that project, but it had to be built. The energy release needed to get in the hands of, you know, being able to release that kind of energy. If we didn't learn how to release that kind of energy, we would not learn how to contain it.
I understand that now.
At least that was why Thaddeus had me working on it.
I do understand that now, and I am still sorry for punching you in the face while protesting that particular project.
Yeah.
But,
well, to be fair, we learned a lot from that. Remember that elder, remember that elder one among that elder one of us, our compatriot Richard Feynman. Well, he went on to talk. He went on to form the new field of quantum chromodynamics from his work there. But yeah, yeah, I still to tell you, you're forgiven for punching me during that circumstance.
Interesting sometimes how even among kindred, bitter enemies can become friends eventually.
Well, that philosophical difference, I understood at the time, and you have still yet to honor my request.
Hmm?
I was going to teach you. Remember when we spoke? Remember when we spoke last 5 years ago?
Yes.
I was going to offer to give you some of. Remember that I was going to break an exception to the rule, and at this point, Doctor Eckman shuts off the recorder so he can speak in private.
Mm.
You remember that I was going to offer you an opportunity to learn something that no one outside my clan was supposed to learn.
Hmm. That's right. I did give it consideration, and if the offer's still open,
You do realize what you would be entailing in order to learn the first level of my path, don't you?
explain it again, please.
You remember that in order to learn the ability to move objects with your mind, you would have to blood bond yourself to me.
Hmm.
I offered
Yes.
that to you 5 years ago, and you said
And
you'd think about
that's why it's taken 5 years to think about it.
it. Are you up for it?
I'll let you know in 1 week's time. At the same time that I let you know about my decision regarding financial backing for your work.
Sounds good. Just remember, don't tell anybody about this. I could get in really bad trouble if anybody found out.
Dr. Eckman, I am a Brujah. Secret keeping and rebellion are my business.
Right. Now, don't get me wrong. The only reason I do not follow this aspect of clan
Politics.
doctrine is because of the fact that being around academia too long, I have learned of the concept of academic freedom. And yeah, nobody knows that I've even been contemplating this.
Mm-hmm.
You were always the one Brujah or the one kindred outside of the clan that I felt I could trust.
Mm-hmm. I am honored to have your trust, Dr. Eckman. And you have mine as well. You're the only Tremere that I would ever trust.
Well, yeah, just don't let my boss, don't let Duke Tyson know about this or let anyone else know about this, because if they find out, I am and my research will fall by the wayside regardless of how good it is.
Mm. Understood perfectly clearly.
Even with my stammer?
We've known each other for so many years. Most of the time I can get around your stammer.
Fair enough. Well, now that we've gotten the space warp this far, you said you had to speak to the chairman?
Mm.
Do you mean the regional chairman or the chairman who oversees everything?
The regional chairman.
So not Chairman Josiah?
No, not yet. I think that's your business to discuss with him.
Fair enough.
I also think that you may want to perfect it a little bit more so that your stage fright doesn't get in the way next time.
Yeah, I may have tweaked the controls. But not to worry, with 2 successful demonstrations in front of someone else, you can attest to what you saw, even when coupled with the video recordings. So even if the personal demonstrations are not always fully stabilized, the worst that's only happened thus far has been that the field cannot fully stabilize itself. But if things really went wrong, I'd hate to see what the possible side effects were of this technology. I'm doing the best I can right now.
I know. That's why you started small. Again, I trust you to take the necessary precautions in the matter.
Yeah. You were saying, though?
I've forgotten what I was saying. Anyway, I suppose that I should take my leave now and let you continue your work.
Yes. Can you do me a favor, though?
Yes?
Can you take this copy at this Dr. Eckman plugs the camera into the computer and uploads a file. Can you take this USB stick and share the video footage around from this and my previous experiment around the rest of the Kindred community?
Of course.
The more people who know about this, work, and the more debate we can get going on this, the better chance there is that I will be able to get investment, get this technology working, possibly even convince the remaining of the Kindred that we need to implement this both planet side and elsewhere in as short an order as we can possibly can.
Agreed.
All right. And with that, Dr. Eckman escorts Annika to the door.
It was good to see you again, Dr. Eckman.
Same to you, Annika. We'll have to speak again soon.
Yes, we will. Good night.
Good night, Annika. And with that, as she leaves, Dr. Eckman shakes his head and turns back and starts fiddling with the equipment again. And there the scene ends.